Hello, everybody. Welcome to What's in the Box. My name is Frizzle, and the other day I had my first haircut of lockdown. Oh, it was so freeing. It was so amazing. The barber was wearing this plastic blue onesie and a visor. It was like I was getting my haircut in the Tron universe. It was fantastic. But we've got a game, and we've got 3 brand new contestants playing. I do hope they're ready in the green room. We'll bring on our first guest. It is award-winning Sam Lake.
Oh, me, hello. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you today? Are you excited playing What's in the Box for the first time?
I can't wait to get my box out. I also want to showcase my new haircut. I also got one a couple days ago. I'm really enjoying it. I forgot what the shape of my head looked like. And my hairdresser said, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm going to have to charge you for a double booking. And I said, is that because my hair's got so long? And they're like, no, it's just I noticed that there's also a lot of hair on your shoulders. It was a very awkward moment.
It's the first thing you do in your hairdressers is take your top off.
No, I just have such prominent shoulder hair that it sticks out the back.
It's coming out.
Sort of like a peacock. Just a magnificent plumage.
LGBTQ Wolfman. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Next up on the show, it's another new contestant. It is Eddie Bowley with his lockdown haircut. Hello.
Yes, I have not had a haircut. I've just had a hair extension, just through growth in general.
Eddie, of course, is live from a total eclipse, so that's pretty cool.
Yes. Well, I thought, I give you the full treatment. Like the lovely, charming backdrop of space, I guess. It's basically my recording setup. I've got professional lights and stuff here, but they're not set up because.
Well, thank you for putting the most effort into this appearance on your show.
Thank you so much.
It's off to a good sound with a giant light in his face and just a boring background. We've got me.
By giant light, you mean the sun in front of a window.
but Eddie's background is blocking the sun. How can this be? Our third guest today, it's Iszi Lawrence. Hello, author, comedian, and fantastic good person. How are you doing?
Oh well, I feel I've got to live up to that now. I've got to be a good person. But yeah, I'm all right. So I have had a haircut, but you can't really tell. I've been trying to fiddle because when you got headphones on, fiddling with your hair, it kind of, it just. I basically go for the Thundercat look anyway, so it's fine.
It's a good look. It's a good look. So you've talked about hair. What's your opinion on the sun?
The sun, big, bloody big, but not as big as some other suns. So, it's big in comparison. I don't want it to feel inadequate, but it could be bigger.
Excellent. Right. You're all here. Have you all bought a box?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see your boxes, everyone.
I have a tiny box.
That is the tiniest box I have ever seen. Eddie, what's your box?
It's a plastic tub that I borrowed from my son. It's used for toys, but I've emptied it out and stolen it for myself.
Okay, so in your box is children's tears. And Sam...
I've just very quickly folded over the flap that has my actual home address on it, just so I don't dox myself.
Yes. Rule 1 of What's in the Box is don't dox yourself. Right, talking of which, it's time for round 1.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 1 is called What's in the Box? I've got my own little sleek black box and there's something inside. My guests are going to try and figure out what it is. They'll all obviously be wrong, but it's then up to them to debate why their guess was the closest. And if they can convince me that their guess was the closest, they get 3 points and 0 for everyone else. So, first up to play, it's Sam Lake. Sam, what do you think is in the box today?
We get no clues, not even a rattle.
I can rattle it for you.
I would love a rattle, please.
Ooh.
Doesn't help. Okay.
It does. It
does. I think it does.
Yeah, I think it helps.
I don't mean to brag, but I did get a B in A-level physics, so I can actually tell a lot from that.
That's physics.
Yes, there's a whole module on it. Okay, that to me sounded like a very flat rattle. So I think it's a flat object. I think.
Need to be more specific.
I'm gonna say it's a framed photo of Mutia Buena from the Sugar Babes.
That is a name I've not heard since 2006.
She's still very culturally relevant.
Next up, Izzy, what do you think is in the box?
Well, I also agree with this flat side-to-side thing. The thing that popped into my head when I was imagining it is one of those, do you remember when you used to use CDs and DVDs? Those things. They came in a little tower, like you could get blank ones, and you had a little CD cover case that you put on. And I think you're the sort of gentleman who'd be ripping off torrents on the internet and then putting them in your little case.
I do have a lot of blank CDs.
Exactly. There we
clearly
go.
not in the
It's
box.
one of those little towers, though. No,
Okay.
the CDs aren't, but the little tower is. It's
Okay.
that.
So a frame photo of Mucha Buena and a CD tower. Eddie, what do you think is in the box?
Well, I think one of the telltale signs of your box there is that you can't quite close the lid. It's like the item is taller than the box. So I'm thinking it's something maybe like, I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to say it's a salt shaker.
A salt shaker, a huge salt shaker.
Yeah.
The actual answer is...
Do you mean
and
peppermill? Oh, here we go.
Oh.
drum roll, please. It's Joseph and his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat on VHS starring Donny Osmond.
Well, there we go. So I definitely
it's a
won that.
video.
On VHS.
It's the stage show. I know. Yes, VHS, that's it. You put it in a VCR. For the first time ever, Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber's fun-filled musical, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, has been specially filmed for video. And that's the blurb. Obviously you were all wrong, but now it's time for you to convince me why your guess was the closest. So, Sam Lake, why is your framed photo of Mucha from the Sugar Babes closer than the other guesses?
I would have to Google it, but there is a very strong chance that Mucha Buena did star as Joseph in maybe a touring production. And so there is a sort of 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon link there. So it's music related. I'm going to go off the fact that I was going to suggest something musical.
Okay, that's a pretty strong start. Izzy, you thought it was a CD tower. Why is your guess the closest?
Because it's outdated technology and it's weird and it's what you'd have. So literally, it is virtually the same thing in terms of, that nobody uses it anymore. It's a VHS. What is that? There you go. It's the same sort of technological. I was bang on.
That's very, very good. Eddie, you're a massive salt shaker. Why is your guess the closest?
Well, I think, frankly, it is the closest because if you think back at the fallout that Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber had since the show, it's salty between them. And it's all on like shaky ground. So it's definitely a representation of a salt shaker.
Oh, 3 very good guesses, but Eddie's one made me make a noise that I haven't made ever. It was like, whoa! It's like I was on a roller coaster. So based on that alone, Eddie gets the 3 points, but they were strong answers all around. You should all be very proud of yourselves. It's time for round 2.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 2 is called Sentimental Value. As you were made aware earlier, all my guests have boxes today and they all have objects in. They're going to pull out one of the objects and reunite it with one of the other guests. They then have to make up a story of why this object means so much to their childhood, right? And it's like a sentimental value. It's an improv exercise. You're basically bullshitting. But if you can convince me that the object that you've never seen before is something from your childhood, you will get 3 points. And I will be dishing out 2 points and 1 point to other people, depending on what happens in the show. So first up is going to be Izzy, which means you're going to be reunited with an item from Sam's box. Sam, what are you reuniting with Izzy today?
You are finally reunited with this interdental toothbrush.
Oh, I know, seriously, that's amazing, right? Because what you don't know is that my father's actually a dentist and he was one of the people who helped develop these little incidental, because before then we used floss, and I actually had a cat called Floss as well, and then after Floss passed away we got a little kitten called Interdental, and it's so nice to see the original little Interdental flossing thing. I used to play with them when I was a kid. My dad had lots of different designs, some of them were like spikes and some of them, which were actually quite zappy when you touched them, stingers, he called them, but unfortunately everybody's teeth pulled out when he, but this was the one unpack it. And before this, we couldn't even afford a house. It was a nightmare. So this thing is like one of the most important objects in my life. And if you look, I have, you know, there's absolutely no, you can't really tell how many teeth I actually lost due to my father's inventions. But this is the one that actually, you know, made us, you know, we were able to leave the workhouse because of this.
Well, what did you do in the workhouse?
Well, broke rocks. So that's what you did in the workhouse.
Of course you do. That's you break rocks.
Was it named after you?
Writing
Was
that one down.
it named after you? The Izzy Dental?
No, but we named
Lovely.
my cat after Izzy Dental, maybe.
Did you say your father repeatedly made you lose teeth on his
Yeah.
inventions?
Yeah.
What other
see
stuff
that.
did he invent?
Like laser and stuff to get in between the teeth, but unfortunately, you know, it's very difficult for him to sort of like find the right way to get, because they're quite tightly packed in, and so he would use all sorts
If you're
of things.
lucky.
I mean, the incidental is so much better than the shoe, which was one of his other. You know, he actually caused an entire species of hornbills to die, go into extinction because he would try and, you know, which is a sad thing, but you know, like I say, he did good. He came true.
Next up, Eddie Bowley, you're going to be reunited with an item from Izzy's box. Izzy, what is that
Wow.
item?
Oh.
You don't even have to explain what this is because it's from Eddie's childhood. Eddie,
Oh,
please explain
God.
why this means so much to you.
Oh, it's my old childhood cog. So like back in the day, you know, when I was struggling to sleep, and I was like, Father, please help me. I'm struggling to sleep. And he'll be like, shut up, go talk to your mother. And I'd go to Mum and go, Mummy, I can't sleep. And she goes, shut up, talk to your dad. So I was in a constant loop. And then one day I crashed into my grandfather clock, and that massive cog fell out, and it comforted me in a time where my parents were not there for me. The cog was, and so I took it to bed and I cuddled it every night until one day I mysteriously lost it. I think I was in a dentist's office at some point, and it must have fell out, and I don't know what happened to it since. And so there it is. I can't believe you found it. What are the chances?
Oh, we've got continuity here. We're building a What's in the Box cinematic universe, everybody. It's great. And finally, Sam, you're going to be reunited with an item from Eddie's box. Remember, this was stolen from his son, so who knows what's in it? Eddie, what is the item you're reuniting with Sam?
It is a jury summons.
You have some nerve showing that on camera. I didn't know this was happening today. Of course, what he's talking about is a scandal that broke out in my hometown. We had just recovered from a former scandal where everyone in my hometown of Redruth had lost their teeth through a series of missold products at local newsagents. So this was, of course, the story of the Redruth logger. It was in all of the papers. I don't need to give you all of the details, but the Redruth logger is, of course, the man who notoriously went around to all of Cornwall swimming pools and did poos in them. He was known as the logger. Many people were brought to the jury summons, and I had to go and testify in court and discover right then and there that the logger was in fact my biological father. And that seems to fit in quite nicely with what the other two have been saying. We've all come from broken homes, either chipped teeth, replaced cogs with parents. In my case, my dad had a penchant for shitting in swimming pools. I'm actually quite emotional just thinking about it. I'm actually quite offended that you brought that up, but it's fine. You've done it now. We'll deal with it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We will. Oh, a lot of sad stories in that round for this comedy show.
Mine was a story of rags to riches.
Yours was, and that is why Izzy is getting the full 3 points. Sam, you're getting the 2 points because I did feel sorry for you. And Ed, I'm glad you've been reunited with your cog. I think that's, and plus you get the 1 point there. So
that's good.
Cog.
That's pretty good. I love your cuddling comfort cogs. That was a nice alliteration there. It's time for round 3.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 3 is the music round, and it's based on a pop artist, and today's featured artist is Tom Jones. I absolutely love the discography of Tom Jones, but whilst reading the track lists to this and the track list to another CD called the E.T. Soundtrack, I noticed a lot of the titles were very similar. So we're going to play a brand new game called Tom Jones or Phone Homes. We're going to start with
done.
Eddie this round.
Oh,
Eddie,
good.
a number between 1 and 9.
Let's go with 1.
Number 1. So, Far From Home. Is this a title from the E.T. soundtrack or a Tom Jones song?
I'll go Tom Jones.
It is actually from the E.T. soundtrack. No
Well
points for you. Yeah, it's when he's like realizing that he is far from home, and that music
As
plays.
is the plot of the movie, yes.
Yes. Sam Lake next. Number between 2 and 9.
Okay, can I have 6?
You can. 6 is The Kiss. Is this
Ooh.
Tom Jones or Phone Homes?
Unless there's a very erotic scene in E.T. that I did not see, I'm going to guess it's Tom Jones.
You're going to kick yourself because there was a scene in E.T. that you did not see. The Kiss was on the E.T. 20th anniversary soundtrack anniversary of a scene that wasn't used, but they made the music for it anyway. And there is a kiss involved. So sadly, that is Phone Homes. Izzy, a number between 2 and 9, which isn't 6.
8.
8 is Cry for Home. Now, is this a Tom Jones song or is it from the E.T. soundtrack?
Well, I know I'm Coming Home is Tom Jones, as is Thunderball. So I'm going to say it's E.T.
It is a Tom Jones song, I'm afraid. Like I said, I did notice that a lot of the tracks had home in it, and so I thought, oh, I'll put that in a game. No points scored so far. Eddie Bowley,
A roller coaster ride.
a number, please.
9.
9.
Yeah.
The Departure. I think this is an easy one.
Yes, it would seem obviously E.T. However, I'm going to say E.T.
It is E.T. You
Yeah.
all right, Simon Cowell. Next up, Sam Lake, a number between 2 and 5 or 7.
I'll have the or 7, please.
You can. It is I'm Coming Home. Now, someone may have leaked this answer earlier in the round. Is this
yes,
Tom Jones
it
or
is.
Phone Homes?
Well, because it's already been said, and also I'm pretty sure Mutia Buena did a cover of this song, I'll say Tom Jones.
It is Tom Jones. Oh, excellent, excellent. Iszi Lawrence again, number between 2 and 5.
I will go with 2.
Number 2. Funny, familiar, forgotten feelings.
Ooh. I don't know. I'd say that's Tom Jones.
It is Tom Jones. That's why you'd say it.
Yay! I don't
because
know
it's
that
right.
one. Don't know that
Neither
one.
do I. Neither do I. I just thought the alliteration looked pretty nice. Eddie
Shall I-
Bowley.
Shall I guess another one just to see if it comes up again?
Yeah, sure. We've got 3 left.
The Young New Mexican.
Yeah, that was actually what the ET title was originally called. It was about immigration. And then they thought, wait, should we make it about Tiny Alien instead? And they went, sure.
Nice.
So, Eddie Bowley, 3, 4, or 5?
3.
3. Stay with me. Oh, is this Tom Jones or Phone Homes?
I'm going to go with the Jones.
It is the Phone Homes. It is an
Oh.
ET scan. It's when ET's about to leave and little Elliot's there going, no, stay here instead. I don't know. I haven't seen the film in about 15 years. Sam Lake, 4 or 5?
4.
4. With these hands.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
Jones. I'm going Jones.
It is, you are right. I thought that would be a tricky one because ET's got that glowing finger, but it's not with his finger, is it? It's with these hands, which means, Izzy, you are left with number 5.
That's E.T.
He'll have to go.
E.T.
It's Tom Jones. So
Really?
that's the end. That's the end of that. No, it's Tom Jones. I'm
it?
telling you, yes. It's
Is it?
yeah, because it's a Tom Jones
it?
song. That's all the argument
He'll
I'm going
have
to
to go.
have here.
It's about
Okay.
E.T. It's about his
Yeah.
song about E.T.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's
It's
very.
like, oh, I'm not.
Easy
He's
song.
talking to like a woman who's seeing a number of men, and
Oh, I
he's like,
see.
no, you have to be with me. He'll have to go.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I assume so. Tom Jones is gay. You've heard it here first. It's time for round 4.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 4 is called Best Tool for the Job. I've been asking the audience at home to name a problem that we need to solve. And the way we're going to do this is our guests are going to pull out an item from their box, and that's the object that they're going to use to solve the problem. And to make it even harder, they don't know what the problem is until they decide what their objects are. So please pull out an item from your box. Sam Lake, what is your item?
I have chosen an actual alive miniature cactus in a keyring.
Miniature cactus in a keyring, my favourite Morrissey song. Izzi Lawrence, what is your object from your box?
It's not oregano and it's not marijuana. It is, in fact, catnip.
Wow, it is the cat marijuana, if anything. And Eddie Bowley, what's your object?
It is a soft toy of the Only Fools and Horses car.
Oh,
I didn't know they made them.
Neither did I.
What shop would you get that in? Like,
It was from a claw machine.
Of course it was. Is there anything misspelt on it to prove it's a bootleg?
No, it seems proper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so with your objects, this is the problem that you are all solving. And the problem is from Claire Bennett. You're looking for problems to help fix my brain. I want to be able to remember more, but not have to go back to work. So we're going to use this with a sort of memory thing. How, with your objects, are you going to improve your memory? That's the problem that we're going to be solving. And we're going to start with Sam Lake and his tiny, tiny cactus.
that I'm holding, the one that's on camera. Well, okay. Let's discuss remembering things. Lots of people have cork boards. We've all had cork boards. You put a little note on the cork board. But what if I said to you, just take this out of the little case, and you've got yourself a lovely cactus with a lot of spindles on there, perfect for holding your post-it notes and what have you. Admittedly, you would have to write very small. I should have thought about this. I have much bigger cactuses. I don't want to brag, but I've got much bigger cactuses. But you could just stick notes onto all of the little needles out of the cactus. And it would be nice to look at. Quite the interior decoration statement, I would say. I am done.
I like that a lot. I've drawn a prototype of sticking post-it notes on a cactus, and I think that works. I think that works.
I think you've maybe drawn something like that before.
I have. Weirdly, this was already on the paper before the recording began. Next up, Izzi Lawrence, using your catnip. How are you going to improve somebody's memory?
Okay, so cats like catnip, right?
Yes.
You've lost me.
Get
Izzi Lawrence, everyone. That was
house.
a very good go. No, carry on.
With the catnip, get the cats to your house with the catnip, and then you turn into a crazy cat lady, and then you get really into, we've already discussed musicals, the musical Cats. Yeah, and it's got that famous song, "Memory, turn your face to that one, right?" But also, it's got all the other stuff, and the more crazy cat lady you turn into, the better your memory becomes. So you can just do all the songs and be like, "McCavity's a Mr. Cat, she's called the Hidden Claw, for he's the master criminal who can't defy the law. He's the bafflement and Scotland Yard, the flying squads to spare. For when you reach the scene of crime, McCavity's not there." And you'll get really just obsessed, and then you'll find that you remember everything, including all the cats' names, even their jellicle names, and everything will be good because you've become a crazy cat lady, obsessed, druggy. It'll be fine.
Okay. And finally, we've got Eddie Bowley with his plush of the Only Fools and Horses Trotter Independent van. How are we going to improve our memory using this?
Well, I subscribe to the notion of meditation. And so I think this is where this bad boy would come in. Because first of all, it's a fantastic sleeping agent. It's a nice, squishy, soft pillow. It's perfect for just like your face. And also you can take rest. And it's in that moments where you can clear your thoughts. And you can actually start to intake information and actually embed it properly into your memories. You can also use it as a focus point. So you can rest it on your head and focus. focus, focus your chi, your energy, have all your body energy flow into the Del Boy car. And then finally, there is just the nostalgia factor. Just like looking at, gazing upon the majesty of this car, you're like, it brings back floods of nostalgia. I guess specifically if you're only over 30, and it brings you back to a happier time. You know, when Del Boy fell through the bar and other such jokes, and so that will help.
Okay, I've got points to give out. Izzy, it sort of improves your memory, but you're only remembering the lyrics of Cats. And
she didn't say specifically what she wanted to remember.
She didn't, but
she said she wanted to stay home, and cats make you do that.
They do. You don't have to walk a cat, do you?
No.
Nevertheless, I am only giving you 3 points for that because the other techniques of improving memory seemed you could learn a lot more. Eddie, I'm giving you 5 points for that because yes, meditation skills, nostalgia, that sparks up the neurons in the brain and helps you remember more. But Sam,
it's
giving
just
you 7 points for that because yes, Cactus Post-it note, that is the easiest way to remember things. It means you don't have to improve your own memory, but as long as you write it down and stick it, you don't have to do the remembering. It's there for you. That is the best tool for this job. That's the points locked in. It's time for round 5.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 5 is the final round, and it's called 23 seconds. I'm going to ask my contestants to name their specialist subject, and they have to name as many things as they can from that subject in 23 seconds. It's as pointless as that. The person in first place always goes first, which at this point is Sam Lake. Sam, what is your specialist subject?
My specialist subject is winners of the Eurovision Song Contest who aren't from Sweden or Ireland.
That's specific. Sam, in 23 seconds, starting now.
Duncan Lawrence, Netta, Salvador Sobral, Jamala, not that one, Emily DeForest, Conchita Wurst, Ellie and Nikki, Dima Balan, Sertab Erenir, what's her chops? Bloody Celine Dion. Lulu.
That is time there, Sam. And yes, Bloody Celine Dion was her stage name before going as Celine Dion. Basically, if you say her name 3 times in a mirror, she comes and sings My Heart Will Go On. In second place at the moment is Eddie Bowley. Eddie, what is your specialist subject?
I'm going to go with characters from the TV series Star Trek Next Generation.
Okay, so far we've had 2 subjects I know nothing about. But Eddie, please say a bunch of nonsense names in 23 seconds, starting now.
Okay, so we've got Picard, Riker, Worf, Data, Geordi LaForge, Beverly Crusher, there's Q, there's Wesley Crusher, there is other people, Barclay, there is another doctor whose name I can't remember. There is Spock turns up at one point. That technically happens in Next Generation.
That is time. I'm sorry, Eddie, but Doctor Who was another show entirely. Said that at one point. Izzy, you
Am I allowed to cheat?
Well,
Just,
no.
Can I do a Tom Lehrer song?
You can if you want. Which song are you going to do?
The Elements.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, that's pretty much fine. I will say you need 14 points to win, Izzy. So if you can name at least 14 elements in 23 seconds, starting now.
Antimony, arsenic, aluminium, selenium, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, rhenium, nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, iron, americium, ruthenium, uranium, europium, zirconium, t-shirt, vanadium, lanthanum, osmium, astatine, radium, godopretinium, and indium, gallium, and iodine, thorium, thulium, thorium, yttrium, istomium, actinium, rubidium, and boron, gallium, niobium, iridium, strontium, silicon, and silver, and samarium, and british bromine, lithium, beryllium, and barium, and argon, krypton, neon, radon, xenon, zinc, and rhodium, and chlorine, carbon, copper, tungsten, tin, and sodium. Surely that's 23 seconds.
That's time there, Izzy. It is. My alarm has been beeping for a long time. I've forgotten how to switch it off, so this will be carrying on for a bit. There we are.
Technically,
so,
I don't think I should get any points for it because it's lyrics.
Well, that depends. If you want your If you don't want any points, that is 7. But if you do want the points, that is 53, which means you've won.
Boom!
Are you happy to have won? Excellent. Our winner
I'll
with
take the win.
53 points, it's Iszi Lawrence. Well done. Izzy, whilst you're here, is there anything you would like? Izzy, is there anything that you would like to plug whilst you're here?
Yeah, the last item in my box is this tiny little velociraptor, and I do a podcast called Terrible Lizards. It's all about dinosaurs. It's available on iTunes and all the other things. Check it out, Terrible Lizards. If you like dinosaurs, and of course you do, get that. Also, if you've got a child, I've written a book. It's very good. You should read it. Unstoppable Letty Peg. That is all.
That's the winner there, Izzy Lawrence there. In second place with 21 points, which is pretty good, but it's no 53 points, is it? It is Sam Lake with 21.
Do I plug stuff?
Yeah, if you want. What would you like to plug?
I mean, I'm only asking because I have nothing to plug. In fact, the last item in my box was this tiny crown because I was that confident I was going to win. I would actually have something in my life, but that's all right. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, that would be nice. I'm at Mr. Sam Lake.
Links will be in the description below. And our loser with 20 points is Eddie Bowley. Very well played, though. Very well played, Eddie. Whilst you're here, is there anything that you would like to plug?
Well, so my last item was Sonic and Knuckles with Sonic 2 plugged into it.
Lovely.
Retro classic. But
That's a beautiful game.
I have a YouTube channel called Edache where I do animated video essays about cartoons, sci-fi, and all the nerdy stuff that I love and enjoy, including Star Trek Next Generation. So check that out. That's me.
Yeah, he did a very brilliant one in the last week about who the mother was in Goof Troop, like the Goofy's wife, where's she gone? And it is hilarious. I absolutely love it.
I just
Izzy,
remembered
yes,
one you missed. Galen. You missed Galen.
Oh,
Whoopi
So that's,
Goldberg once. So
Oh,
you missed
of
Galen.
course.
Yeah.
so that's Eddie and Sam drawn on 21 each. Izzy still wins. That does not affect the points at all. Thank you all for playing. Our guests today have been Sam Lake, Izzy Lawrence, and Eddie Bowley. I've been Frizz Frizzle. Now can everyone please wave to the camera for 23 seconds as the end credits play?
What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
First time it's done 23 seconds.
Boom.
Usually people stop at 8 and say, surely that's enough. And I have to edit that out.